Yeah, exactly. Wow. Wow's what I'm thinking. If we come in close here, you can have a bit more of a look. You can see that I've pulled out some of the units. Uh, I'm waiting on an answer to our rules question for this and for this attack here. And it has to do with being surrounded in these various locations. So I'm going to kind of hold this up here for a second because I don't want to wave the camera around too badly. So we're still on the 7:30 turn, and I'm holding this up against the wall, so it's going to vibrate a little bit. I'm sorry, it'll shake a little bit. So I don't have it on a stand. But you can see that that's quite a melange of units there. The French really brought a whole lot of forces to bear in this particular attack. So they had two different groups come from two different angles and really put the squeeze play on Pratzen. And if you recall, from the 0700 turn, I said, hey, you know, as the play-by-poll players and voters, you may want to look at your situation, trying to move Kollaroth's forces down to Koblenitz, because if you hit that road, you may well be attacked out in the open. So the vote was to defend in place or drop orders and defend in place, which meant, due to kind of some astute movement and probably somewhat overly flexible movement, the Austrians were in a reasonably good shape there. They're all in city hexes or village hexes except for one group. So anyway, the French had a surprisingly large number of forces. They had some cavalry unlimber close up and put some gun point losses on the Austrian forces, and they shook some of the forces there. And then when they brought kind of in waves the forces in from both flanks to attack, we had some great results and some bad results. One result here is for Saint Hilaire, where these guys here, the 114, they routed. That's the best unit that Saint Hilaire has. And his other guys kind of took up blocking positions across the stream. But we were attacking across the bridge, and we had the same problem as per the last video, where you're in march column, and you go into attack, and as the French, that's a combat column. So you roll in there, and you may well do okay, but if we did not win that actual combat coming across the bridge, it cost us some penalties on DRMs, I think is what actually happened. I forget now. It's quite a stack of things have gone on since then. But suffice to say, lost the battle, rolled terribly, took horrendous losses, and then realized that unfortunately the units. So although I inflicted losses on Kollaroth's forces there, that you can see these white guys here, right? They took losses, but none of them count. But because it's a combat column or in column. So we come across the bridge, we attack into the village, we lose the battle, we inflict some losses, but the only loss that counts is the morale loss. Well, what? I guess they're all in buildings and things like that, so they take less damage and all those sorts of things, and geez, it's just a disaster. So Saint Hilaire, he took, I have to look real quickly, yeah, he took 4 step losses and 4 stragglers. So that's a big hit to one of the best units on the board in that section, and it's going to take him a while to recover. So that was a bit of a blow, and that was the worst thing that happened to the French. Now we do have 2 routes for both the Russians on the left there and and Kollaroth's 2A, 2C unit there. In the middle, kind of set out by themselves. They both have to retreat, And I just needed some confirmation on what happens if the retreats are either through, well, I know when they go through another unit that impacts them by one morale step negatively, but then what happens after that? If there's nowhere to go that's not in a zone of influence that they pass through, it's a little unclear as to what happens to the units or if they can pass through zones of influence. So that's a rambling way of saying I don't know what to do with those 5 Austrian units, which would put a big dent in the Austrian forces. So we need to work out that story. I did manage in one assault to make this guy here, this guy here retreat. And he took a reaction charge from, I think there's a force here, is there a force? Yeah. A reaction charge from these guys. And that was kind of cool. So they saw them routing down the streamline here. They came out here. And we let them, they got out there. It's here and here where I'm not seeing a path for the guys to retreat through, because it's very confusing. So that's 6 minutes, probably all you need to see. So I think it's big, big melee going on there.